Hello everyone, today's video covers Newjeans' court appearance, Jennie, Harin, Jisoo, Straykids, and Katseye all getting criticism, plus the theories about Lisa's 2019 boyfriend. Alright, Newjeans' legal saga just took another serious turn. On August 14th today, members Minji and Danielle were spotted personally attending a private court mediation session with Adore. And yes, they actually showed up in person because the Seoul Central District Court specifically requested it. The meeting is being overseen by the 41st Civil Division, and the goal is simple. At least on paper, try to reach an agreement over whether Newjeans' exclusive contracts with Adore are still valid. Now, here's where the tension lies. Newjeans' side is standing firm that the trust between the members and Adore is completely broken, and once that's gone, it's basically impossible to work together again. Adore, on the other hand, is holding the line, saying the contracts are still binding and valid. If they can't settle it in mediation today, then this whole thing moves into the court's hands, and we'll get an official ruling on October 30th. So yeah, mark your calendars, because that date could determine the future of Newjeans as we know them. So we need to talk about Harin, Newjeans, and the whole Shaman thing. So Harin, who is a Japanese model and idol-turned-actress, is facing backlash from bunnies after making some recent comments. If you don't know, there's been this long-standing tea that before Newjeans debuted, heejin allegedly went to a shaman for advice. And apparently, allegedly, this shaman played a role in deciding who made it into the group. Now, Newjeans was supposedly going to debut as 7 members, but 2 girls, Youngseo and Harin, were cut. Harin's comments basically just reopened the vault. Let's look at what she said herself on the YouTube channel of Japanese actor Hiromitsu Takeda. She was talking about her life in Korea and her time as an idol trainee, and she made a comment that she was suddenly told to terminate her contract after 2 years of training under Source Music. According to her, her parents were ready to sign the contract, the company's CEO wanted to debut her, everything was set, but one day she was just told to leave. It was definitely a difficult period for her, and on top of that, she wasn't even allowed to say goodbye or see any of the members one last time. That's it. That's what Harin said. But in the comments, people were talking about the shaman rumor again, saying heejin kicked her out because of the shaman's decision. Of course, after this, she received all kinds of comments. Some supporting her, some hating on her. She got even more heat after she liked a comment on her Instagram that said, even though she's so beautiful, her debut was cancelled because of the shaman case. Someone replied to that saying, she should be thankful she didn't debut with Newjeans so she didn't get a case. Some people took this as jealousy, that she was mocking Newjeans and liking hate comments about them, especially regarding their court trial. Others accused her of doing it for clout and called her a nobody compared to Newjeans. Some even questioned her claim about being selected for the debut lineup, saying she was a Source Music trainee in 2020, not an Adore trainee, since Adore was founded in 2021. But that's not really a solid point if you know that heejin took all her trainees from Source Music's end teams when she started Adore. And after all the backslash, Harin did release a statement saying she's thankful for all the recent attention, but also a bit worried about it. The comments she made in a past interview, where she expressed frustration and disappointment, were about her own personal experiences and feelings from the past, not meant as an attack on any person or company. She admits it was a hard time, but also something that helped her grow stronger. She still supports her former group members, and she's committed to improving herself and showing fans a better side. She ends with a poetic metaphor about staying true to herself, asking fans to keep supporting her warmly. So in short, she's clarifying she wasn't throwing shade, she's expressing gratitude, and she's reassuring fans she's still the same person. And about the shaman thing, yeah, this is not even new tea. People have been saying for a while now that the shaman was deep in Adore's business. Like, allegedly she was helping heejin make big company decisions. And that's pretty much public knowledge at this point. She was even supposedly giving her advice about BTS's military enlistments. And it gets weirder. Apparently the shaman was in on hiring decisions too. Like, she allegedly straight up recommended people for Adore. She even introduced this guy named Park to Min, and boom, he's hired. They even talked about what his job was going to be. And when other candidates came up, if the shaman said yes, most of them got in. And a lot of those people still working there today. Oh, and Min, she apparently talked trash about some of her trainees. She asked the shaman, they'll listen to me, right? No one's gonna act up? And the shaman's like, nope, they'll behave. Min basically wanted trainees who would just follow orders. And fast forward to 2025, I guess the Shaman wasn't wrong. And that's not even all. The Shaman allegedly picked Ador's name, told Min she should take over the company within 3 years, which, funny enough, matches the actual timeline, gave advice on buying Hybe stocks, talked about Bang PD, and even got info about other departments and employees inside the company. What you guys think about this, do mention in the comments. So, there's this post by MTV that's shading Blackpink, and it's going viral. And not just because of the American actress Sophia Wiley, but because Katseye's Sophia liked it too. Yeah, 2 Sophias, both under fire at the same time. Now, the post had this clip where Sophia was basically like, yeah, I love Blackpink, even though they're giving us nothing right now.
Katseye is my bae. I love Katseye. I watch every one of their videos. They just performed at Lollapalooza. My girls are going crazy. And Blackpink, I love you. Even though you're giving us nothing right now, I love you still. Always.
And fans lost it. They're saying she shouldn't have even brought up Blackpink while praising Katseye. And then Katseye's leader, Sophia, goes and likes the post. Yeah, so her Instagram is now flooded with hate comments like, Katseye isn't a girl's girl, you're harassing Blackpink, all that. But then, you've got people defending Sophia Wiley, saying she's literally been a Blackpink fan for years, she's always spoken highly of them, so of course she mentioned them when talking about K-pop. Like, yeah, maybe the way it came out sounds bad, but she's a legit Blink. Netizens think some of these reactions are extreme, because she even said she loves them. The "they're giving us nothing" part was clearly about no new music, but some people twisted it into tour criticism, and now it's this huge outrage moment. And as for Sophia from Katseye, the second I saw her like that post, I knew the hate comments were coming. And yep, her IG is now a war zone. How dare you think your group is on Blackpink's level? You should be ashamed. You'll never be famous in Korea. Katseye stans are now fighting with Blinks, and there's even people demanding an apology. Like, this escalated fast. The comparison between the two groups is what rubbed the Blinks in a wrong way, and I saw the same thing recently as well. People are comparing the two groups a lot. Like recently Hailey Kalil, influencer, model, you've probably seen her on your FYP. She posts this Instagram video that Blinks say is mocking Blackpink's so-called lazy dancing, while hyping up Katseye's choreography. The video split into 2 parts. First, she's standing there barely moving to Blackpink's Jump with this caption shading their 2025 choreo. Then it cuts to her and someone else going full out to Katseye's Gnarly. You don't have to be a detective to get what she's implying. Now, in the caption, she's like, I'm sorry, Katseye. I didn't do you justice because you ate. P.S. Blinks don't come for me. I love Blackpink. I just miss their choreography. And she even replied to comments saying it was a joke. She's a fan. She's met Lisa. She's been to Jennie's Coachella set. But Blinks were not buying it. They called her a clout chaser, two-faced, using Blackpink's name for views. Some were like, no Blackpink, no views, I guess. Others dragged her for jumping on any hate train against women and then hiding behind the I'm a fan excuse. And part of why people are mad is because she has praised Blackpink before. So this sudden shady post felt like she was playing both sides. What you guys think about this Katseye being compared to Blackpink? And not in a good way, because I can predict this is not ending anytime soon. Okay, so we need to talk about Diplo and the whole K-pop hate thing. By now you've probably already seen that picture of Jennie with Diplo in Ibiza. She was at his set. And like always, she's getting all kinds of reactions. There's this one not so flattering picture Calvin Harris posted, and people are clowning her, saying she looks wasted or traumatized. Honestly, it was just a bad photo. But the internet is ruthless. And yeah, posting that was not great. Jennie even commented under it like, better picture of us next time. I can already see this turning into a meme. But that's not even the big story here. The real thing I want to talk about is the hate RM's been getting for mentioning Diplo in his recent Instagram post. I talked about this in my last video. RM is getting dragged just for associating with him. And a bunch of you commented like, okay, but Blackpink also works with Diplo. Why didn't you mention that? You're biased. When it's BTS, it's a scandal. But when it's Blackpink, nobody cares. So let's clear that up. Blackpink did get heat for working with Diplo. Like when they did Jump, people called them out. And it's not just BTS or Blackpink. Diplo's worked with a bunch of K-pop acts over the years. CL, G-Dragon, Red Velvet, Jennie, Jungkook. The list goes on. The reason fans don't like seeing idols around him is pretty simple. It clashes with the morally upright image K-pop loves to sell. Diplo's got a long list of controversies, and I'm not talking petty drama. We're talking... In 2020, Shelley August accused him of grooming her as a minor sexual battery and sharing intimate videos without consent. That led to lawsuits, a criminal investigation, and even a restraining order. In 2023 and 2024, another woman, Jane Doe, sued him for revenge, claiming he sent out explicit images without her permission. Azealia Banks and others have accused him of predatory behavior toward underage girls. And then there's the political side. Some fans label him a Zionist, saying he's shown support for Israel during the Israel-Palestine conflict, which goes directly against boycott movements in K-pop fandoms. On top of that, he's been accused of stealing music from underground artists, and he's got this whole party lifestyle with drug references. Again, not exactly lining up with this squeaky clean idol brand. Now, Diplo's denied everything, saying the accusations are just extortion or harassment, and he's even hit back legally. But the fact is, the cloud of controversy is still very much there. So yeah, RM's catching heat for mentioning him, Jennie's getting hate for showing up at his set and collaborating, and fans are basically saying, pick better friends. It's one of those situations where any K-pop idol linked to Diplo is gonna get dragged. What you guys think? So we need to talk about Jisoo in the Omniscient Reader movie because the reaction has been rough. This was supposed to be one of the most anticipated films of the year, and a lot of fans walked away disappointed, for multiple reasons. I'll probably do a full review later, but right now, the main conversation is about the criticism Jisoo's getting for her acting. A popular movie review YouTuber actually devoted a big chunk of his review to Jisoo specifically. He basically said her poor articulation and lack of improvement over the years were major reasons why the movie failed to really connect with audiences. What made this hit harder is that he's always been on Jisoo's side. Back during her acting debut in Snowdrop, he defended her like crazy, saying any weaknesses were just rookie jitters, that she had expressive potential, and that people were being too harsh. But now, 4 years later, his tone flipped completely. He said that as a fan, he felt like he had to give constructive criticism because he genuinely wants her to improve. Of course, that lit up the comment sections. Some netizens totally agreed with him, saying stuff like, "This YouTuber always defended her, but I think he just exploded out of frustration because she's shown absolutely no improvement." Fans of Jisoo are way too overprotective. Do they realize she's more noticed for her luxury outfits than her singing? Even the fans probably know it. They just won't admit it. It's sad to see capable rookie actors lose roles because of incompetent connections like her. If there's no improvement, it'd be better not to act at all. Why keep trying? Then there's the other side, people questioning him. But is this YouTuber even qualified to criticize her acting? He said he felt insulted watching Jisoo act because he's worked in acting before. But he hasn't achieved anything in acting himself and only does YouTube reviews. How does he have the right to feel insulted? To me, he seems just like that YouTuber who criticized Yang Won-young and got sued. I'll take his critique seriously when he reveals his face. And then there are the brutal takes from people who claim to be fans. I'm a fan of Jisoo, but honestly, her acting is bad. I haven't been able to watch her stuff for more than 5 minutes. I love Blackpink, but I wish Jisoo would practice more. Ignoring hate is fine, but constantly being criticized for acting isn't okay. What you guys think about this, or have you seen the movie? Moving on to Lisa, guys, I literally watched Lisa's Dream MV the moment I woke up, and gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Spoiler ahead, so skip a bit if you haven't seen it yet. But man, it's sad. And that little monologue or conversation at the end about being a tree in a lake, that's one of the most beautiful, heart-touching things I've seen in K-pop in a while. Round of applause for Miss Lalisa Manoban, please. Now, as much as my heart is still in the clouds over this MV, the internet is already doing what it does best, digging into theories. And this time, it's about Lisa's alleged 2019 breakup. Who was the ex-boyfriend? Nobody knows for sure. But you know the internet, they have thoughts. Some people are connecting the dots back to a certain male idol, even before the MV for Dream was announced. And that name is One, also known as Young Jaewon. Quick recap if you don't remember. In 2015, hip-hop duo One Punch debuted, and later, One appeared on Show Me the Money 4 and 5, where he gained major attention. He signed to YG, dropped hits like Comfortable with Simon D and Gray, and in 2017 became YG's first male solo debut since C7. He even went into acting and appeared on Heart Signal. But in 2019, he left YG, dropped a solo album under his own label, and then poof, disappeared. Deleted Instagram, no updates. And here's where the tea starts spilling. Back in 2019, rumors swirled about Lisa and One being in a relationship, sparked by alleged Lovestagram posts. Now fans are dissecting Dream's lyrics and saying it's definitely about him, especially the parts about someone disappearing, leaving YG and Lisa not knowing where they are now. Then there's the visual Easter eggs. People noticed Kentaro in the MV has blonde hair, just like One did in 2019. And some comments are saying, before you say it's all coincidence, remember Lisa once asked Kentaro to dye his hair to match young Jaewon's blonde back then. Plus, One spent time in Tokyo before vanishing, and the MV's Japanese setting just fuels the theory. TikTok's already on fire with edits pointing this out, with comments like, it's him 100%. Shippers are still in denial. Some think it's Jungkook, and one of the major aspects of the theory is the couple rings. Netizens brought back photos and rumors about Jungkook and Lisa having matching rings in 2019. Well, nothing is confirmed, and it's all just what fans think and believe. Okay, so we're back at it again with the cultural appropriation conversation, and this time it's Straykids. The boys just dropped their comeback trailer and, woo, the criticism is already rolling in. First, people weren't vibing with the music itself, but second, and what's really making noise online, is the cultural appropriation accusations. So there's this one post going around that pretty much sums up what a lot of people are saying. I've been feeling this a lot since Walkin' on Water, but whenever SKZ tries to do a full hip-hop concept, they always end up doing it in the most wrong offensive ways. References to gang culture, crip walking, sea walking my ass, durags, questionable styling, and now a B-side called Creed. It's like they're doing this on purpose at this point. And it sucks, because they're one of my ults. And the comments under that? Full agreement. Netizens are pointing out that you can totally give off hip-hop vibes without leaning on stereotypes or copying a specific image. The durags, the outfits, a lot of people felt it was just unnecessary. Then there's another fan saying, I'm getting jumped on Twitter and apparently I'm racist for associating durags, hip-hop, and chains with black culture. Do they not realize you can perform hip-hop music without wearing an urban costume? You can rap without cosplaying Black American rappers. Others are saying, I really like SKZ, but this wasn't necessary at all. And then we've got the whole fan defense happening again. It wasn't their choice. But Stays also love to say Stray Kids have a big part in their creative direction. So, which is it? Another post shared photos of the members' outfits, and people are saying things like, you're not a cholo, you're not a hood gangster. And Hyunjin, my gosh, that bandana must be wrapped a little too tight for you to come out the dressing van like this. You're not about that life. You've never known that life. Some are even saying this feels like a return to their cultural appropriation roots, which is wild because a lot of people thought they'd moved away from that. Now the debate is whether to blame JYPE or the members themselves, especially since Stays claim SKZ are heavily involved in their concepts. And then there's this brutal line. How hard is it for companies to educate their artists? They'd rather give them selfie classes, LOL. What's making it worse is that fans remember this isn't the first time. People are bringing up how Chan got called out in the past for wearing cornrows, and now they're like, really? Again? And in the end, what you guys think about this, do let me know in the comments section, and subscribe to my channel to stay updated with K-pop. And thanks for watching. See you in the next one.